Hello, my wine buyers. I just did 1 minute of this video when I just realized that I pushed photo button, not the video button. Yay. Starting over again. Today, I got practice. So today's offering is going to be from Venti. This is the new release 2022 Rubicone Bianco Serenaro. It's a foundational wine for their portfolio, which goes back to 20 years, their original plantings of 2002. Again, Venti, again, we're in Romagna. We're specifically in Roncofredo. Roncofredo, farthest down on the coast, really kind of on the border of La Marche. Also, farthest down the coast of Romagna, but also closest to the coast. We're only 5 kilometers as the crow flies. We can literally look out at the Adriatic and only 100 meters up. So we're effectively on the beach. To be honest, we're making beach wine, if you will. Important principles to review with Venti because they drive a lot of the conversation. Starting in 2002, the winery starts out in only wanting to work in organic farming. At that time, they were practicing only wanting to work with heirloom varietals, and also only wanted to work and really represent a true Romagnan style. What does that all mean? I start in the business in 2001, and I can tell you in 2001 I had to wear a suit, and back then we talked about Yerman, Vintage Tunina, and we talked about Gaia a lot. It was all about if you were drinking Gaia. The Trey Bacari tasting at the Puck Building, those of you can remember with me, was the shit. It was like if you went to the Puck, it was actually every March, if you will. It's huge, and it was a big deal, and everyone went there. So these guys start out in that time talking about organic farming. Nobody talked about organic farming in 2002. Heirloom varietals, no one used the word heirloom. In fact, farm to table didn't exist back then, even though I know there was great restaurants, Square Cafe, Gramercy Tavern just relatively started, but really farm to table wasn't a thing. And what they mean by being proud Romagnans or kind of owning that is not trying to make, back in 2002, a super wine. The wines that were kind of maybe tiptoeing into the conversation out of Romagna were all supers. It was super Sicilians. It was super Campanians. Super Friulians. I sold a bunch of those. Super Romagnans. And that's exactly what that means. It's Sangiovese with Cab Merlot. It's fully barrique Chardonnay. It's take your Albana and blend in Chardonnay and barrique it. It was super, super, super. So the idea that these folks wanted to start and they wanted to do the opposite of it, stuff that we all espouse now, which is kind of own and be proud of your local heirloom varietals. Make wines that are grapes that are local to you, but don't try and be like another region. Be yourself. That was unheard of. Nobody did that. So one of the things that they wanted to do as consummate hospitalitarians, they have a wonderful agriturismo bed and breakfast there. And if you guys are taking vacations in August and need a place to stay, hit me up. Venti is definitely a beautiful spot in Romagna, and it's affordable. They wanted a white wine to start the meal, and they were thinking Alto Adige. They wanted something high toned, something fresh, driving. Not obviously they're not making Soave, and you'll hear all about my Soave pitch in a bit. But Romagna's got Albana. Albana's powerful. It's almost like an ode to Ribolla. It's got shoulders. It can age. It's oftentimes made into a dessert wine. So their consultant, Remigio Bardini, said, hey, what about this kind of lost varietal which is getting unearthed called Famosa di Cesena? So the grape in this wine we're going to taste is Famosa di Cesena, the famous one of Cesena. Heirloom to the region, has clonal relationships to Malvasia, and you'll see that in some of my tasting notes. But here, really carrying a pretty driving, salty acidity to it, which is both part of the terroir and also part of the grape. So here's the wine. Venti Rubicone Bianco Serenaro 2022. Let's taste it. One of the things they do, which is intentional, is they take 10% of the wine on the skins for 30 days. So just a little bit of maceration, a steep maceration to add some structure, so they don't have to add oak, they don't have to add any type of heavy extraction or lees work. They just a little bit of oomph, a little bit of cushioning to add some structure. And I think it's well done over the past 5 or 6 years we've had these wines. I've always noticed that, one, the wine can age. It gets quite interesting, kind of goes like light orange, if you will. But two, when it's fresh, it's not just a weak, light, crispy, lemony wine, but it's actually got some stuffing on the nose. So in the kinship to Malvasia, there's definitely some apples here. It's not green, it's more yellow, so it's a softer apple. It's also not as vibrant and powerful as you get with Malvasia. It's a little more demure. Also kind of that beachy, salty, high wafty notes, if you will. Like pink sand. People always ask me, Famoso de Cesena, what is that? And it's Famosa. It's a shorthand for it. I use the story of the wine and kind of the genesis of the wine and what Moro and the family was trying to achieve, the idea of Alto Adige. And I think there's a relationship on the palate to like a Kerner. It's not Kerner, it's Famosa, but there like has a thing. Yeah, beautiful, super fresh, kind of that light apple, almost really does kind of deliver a ode to Alto Adige, but at the same time, certified organic farming, Demeter, biodynamic principles as well, en route to Demeter. Again, stainless steel and a very, very affordable price point, which is I'll be emailing to you shortly. Okay, cheers. Rubicone Bianco Serenaro Venti 2022.